What's up, man?
Hey, John.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Anyway. You guys sounded great.
Thank you. Thanks
Seriously.
for having us.
So talk to me a little bit about the Hartford music scene. What is it like? I mean, it's, you know, I live along 95, and
Sure.
Hartford is by far too far for me to ever venture into. So
Yeah.
paint me a nice little picture of Hartford.
Well, I guess first of all, the good things about Hartford, it's kind of centrally located for a band to be hitting New York City, Providence, Boston. We're right in the middle of what feels like the main place we want to be in the Northeast, which is what we do, travel and tour around the Northeast. As far as the music scene, it's definitely growing, I think. There's a 500-seat venue and about a 200-seat venue, and that's kind of all we have. So it's hard to bring other bands in that we meet on the road and trade shows with them, and it's definitely building. There's a lot of jam bands and funk bands, but we have a really tight-knit community in the west end of Hartford where most of us are from, with just a lot of musicians coming from the Hart School of Music at the University of Hartford. So it's growing. There's a lot of good things, and there's more room for it to grow. I think there's some things that are starting to happen.
So it's a good home base for
it. Is,
for
yeah.
you guys.
I think we've considered moving to a place that has more of an Americana and folk rock scene, like somewhere like Northampton, but I think we've decided to kind of stay in Hartford and build our own scene. And we're starting to do that. There's new businesses coming in all the time, and so we're just kind of making it our home no matter what, even if there's not that much of a scene yet, you know.
Tell me about like the folk scene, right? Because I feel like when Mumford and Sons came on, and then the Lumineers and all this, that's all you heard about with like new folk kind of. That's kind of died down now at this point, right? I mean,
yeah, I think there was like a folk revival for a minute, but I think it's interesting too because we've never really fit into the folk mold. We've played with a ton of singer-songwriters, but we've always had a full band. We've always had electric components, so we're kind of on like the fringe of the folk scene, and I think I would call it more of a roots rock scene. Right. So I think we can pair ourselves with a lot of folk singers, and we are like a song-based band, you know, so there's some similarities, but it's been hard for us to really fit into any scene necessarily. I think we're a little bit of a chameleon when it comes to like what genre we're playing in.
Yeah, and I wasn't saying you guys sounded like them. I just remember when Mumford came on, there was a couple of, not that the Lumineers were copycats, but it kind of opened the door.
Yeah, that like sound.
It kind of opened the door. It kind of opened the door. And now I feel like they're just kind of part of whatever, alt rock or whatever.
Right.
And there's no like labeling, at least whatever. That's because they don't play anything good on mainstream radio. So I guess you got to kind of whatever. Talk to me about this project though, because you brought these guys on and you're now full for these guys over here.
Yeah.
In the background.
It's
over here. By the way, out of context, this makes no sense. I just realized that. Like I thought it would be cool to have them in the background. Like, but now I see it makes totally out of context.
Like, who the hell are these guys?
But it's fun.
Well, this is the band.
Yeah.
This is Ian Meadows. He plays electric guitar. Greg Lake plays bass, and Steve Cusano plays the drums. And we've all known each other and been playing in different bands, and we've had different musicians and different subs along the way on the road, and this has kind of been, I guess, the modern version, Wise Old Moon 3.6 at this point. But
it's Windows 98.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny though how we've kind of crossed paths before and all ended up back working on this project. And Greg's actually been with us for about a month now. He just completed his first 7 shows with us this month, and things are going really well. So I think it's mainly just been a matter of staying busy, staying on the road, and sometimes that's challenging for guys our age that have to keep a steady job, and you know we're not able to pay salaries yet. So we've had a lot of really great players that we've had to kind of leave behind because they couldn't do a full touring schedule. So, but in that sense, then we were able to find the next guy that's even more fit for the road and wants to be, you know, part of the band. So it's a work in progress, but I think we're continuing to grow and build and trying to get that sound really consistent with who we're working with right now.
And to your point, the last record, you had a whole bunch of different artists.
Yeah, we did.
And the next one that you're working on right now is going to be just these guys.
I'm hoping, yeah.
Although he did just give his notice right before the interview.
Right. It's like a day-to-day thing, you know. It's like I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and yeah. So
I will be replacing him on the next day.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
and usually that's how it works. You know, yeah. So
just don't plug in any of my instruments.
All right, we'll do a little air bass guitar or something. I
will fuck up your rhythm and everything.
I think at the end of the day, I've been writing the songs and bringing them to the band, and right now we're finally at a point where we can all sit in a room and write a song together, which is, I think, the most conducive to a really consistent sound, and I'm looking forward to working more on just the writing and creating with the same group of guys, which has been a challenge when our main focus is going on the road and playing shows, because that's how we make money at this, you know?
Right. So, last question. So, I want to deactivate my Facebook account because every single thing is Trump, 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 Trump.
Yeah.
So, is it hard not to, you're in the writing process, is it hard not to, I don't want to say be inspired because that's the last thing you get from him, but like, is it hard not to be affected by the world outside when you're actually sitting down and writing something?
Yeah, I think...
Especially in your genre of music, right?
Right. Well,
yeah.
Like on the last record...
Well, you can't because it's, you know, in your face.
Yeah. On the last record, there was a song I wrote called Life and Press that talked about, you know, like the police shootings. And so I think that there's always stuff that's going to affect me, and I guess I try to not write a super, like, downer song or something that at least can mean something but doesn't go too far, you know, because I don't want to involve politics or like religion necessarily into the music. I'd like to keep it kind of open, but I think especially with like the current climate, there's a lot of inspiration. I kind of feel like we're going to be in, you know, a new arts resurgence with what's happening now. Like everything's changing so fast, and I think now is the time to create and make music. And we were actually, Steve and I were talking last night about, you know, like the folk song, and we have this opportunity to write, you know, something for our generation, especially in the genre we're in, and maybe kind of reinventing like the Woody Guthrie or the Bob Dylan, and like with this rockin' power band, you know, we can put a little bit more energy behind a folk song, you know, which is what I think, that's like the twist of Wise Old Moon. It's traditional folk, Woody Guthrie, all those singer-songwriters mixed with like the alt country, Uncle Tupelo, you know, drive-by truckers. So I think balancing the both, keeping high energy, catchy tunes, but yeah, writing something of substance is always my goal. I don't think any of the songs have, like, it's not just about, you know, walking through a field of flowers. There's definitely stuff that's inspiring me.
What is wrong with
yeah, I guess
flowers
that's a beautiful thing. I shouldn't speak down. That'll be my next song for you, A Field of Flowers.
Will you dedicate it to me?
Maybe we need more flower field songs.
Well, listen, something good might come out of this, right? Because like you said, the whole folk music thing came out of everything in the 60s, 70s, right?
Protest songs.
Punk music might make a comeback, although some people argue it never went away, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
You might write a flower song. Who the hell knows what might happen? I might join this band.
Exactly. The whole
shit is going down.
Yeah. We're going to make Americana great again.
Thanks, man. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us, John.
Thank you.
Awesome.